One of the pillars of Islamic practice is the dawn to sunset fast of Ramadan. From sunrise to sunset, Muslims abstain from eating, from drinking, from having sex, from smoking, from doing anything that would get in their way of having a greater consciousness of God, a closeness to God during this month.
There are 12 calendar lunar months in the Muslim calendar, and one of those, could be 29 or 30 days, is the month of Ramadan. Ramadan is a special month. We believe that it was the month in which the Prophet Muhammad, Prophet of Islam, received revelation from God, which then was encapsulated into what we know as the Quran.
During the month of Ramadan, there are particular moments when Muslims will feel the closeness of God. For example, in Laylatul Qadr, the night of power or destiny. This is the night during which it is said the Quran descended from the angel Gabriel to the earth through the consciousness of the Prophet Muhammad.
There are three main aspects that define this month. And the first one is discipline. So you wake up from sunrise, you wake up before sunrise and you fast until sunset. And the entire day, there are many times where nobody's watching you. You could, sneak in a snack or a drink, but you tell yourself that you're not going to do that. And so that teaches you discipline that you can apply to the rest of your life. In the sense of sometimes you want to do something, but you know that it's wrong, and you realize that you can't control yourself. And Ramadan helps teach you that you do have the capacity to control yourself and stop yourself from, getting angry or doing anything that's considered wrong.
So that you can really focus on being spiritually connected with God. Be focused with the physical elements of who you are, so that you can sort of see what it means to be a human, a person, and sort of somehow helps you separate the two. So you're aware of the hunger, you're aware of the thirst, you're aware of your temptation, say, of relationships and so on. But it doesn't end there.
The second aspect would be empathy. When you're feeling hungry and you can't eat, you can't drink, you start to feel certain empathy for those who are unfortunate around the world, and they, not eating is a reality for them. It's not something that they fast, for one day and then they look forward to eating at sunset. No, their entire life, their reality is that they just try to live from day to day and have enough food on a regular basis.
So basically, you'll always hear that Ramadan is about teaching yourself self-denial, and it makes you, just more controlled, and it makes you a lot more appreciative of what you have, and definitely a lot more sympathetic when you see calamity, when you see a starving person or anything like that. And those are all definitely true, but I think more than anything, it teaches me personally that I have the capacity and the capability to be a better person, because during fasting you are restricted not only to food and water, but you're not allowed to swear, lie, engage in any kind of sexual activity, and you're just basically supposed to be the best person that you possibly can be. And I feel like the fear of avoiding your fast, kind of wasting your entire day of not eating or drinking, it gets to you so much that you want to do everything you can to make sure that your fast counts.
And then the third aspect would be, just spiritual growth. So it's well established in many religions, for example, Hinduism, that renouncing certain aspects of the world oftentimes lets a person focus more on spiritual questions and, discovering their inner self, or discovering, how to better their relationship with God, or, how to feel more spiritual. And so, like other renouncer movements, fasting in Ramadan, you renounce food and drink during the day, and this allows you to focus more on your spiritual self and, I guess, help uplift your relationship with God more.
You have to really push up your spirituality and your theological practice up a notch. So during Ramadan, from dawn to dusk, we'll fast. And then we'll break our fast. And then after we break our fast, in the evening, generally Muslims congregate in mosques and they'll pray and they'll do extra prayers.
Many Muslims attempt to read the entire Quran from beginning to end, breaking it up in portions from the first day of Ramadan to the end. Ramadan ends with Eid al-Fitr, the festival of the breaking of the fast.
And basically what we do is you wake up in the morning, generally everyone takes a shower and it's really chaotic because everyone's getting ready to go to prayer. And there's a prayer in the morning which is not mandatory, but it's a really huge congregational get-together where you'll see a lot of people that you've never seen before. And everyone goes to wherever the prayer is, whether it be at the mosque or in bigger cities, they rent out hotels or conventional centers in order to have the prayer. And everyone dresses up, generally in new clothes, because it's just how tradition goes, where you get your new clothes and you wear your new clothes and you look all pretty, and then you go to prayer. And they have a sermon, kind of, which is just like a really brief one, and everyone just sits and quietly listens. And then right after that, we do the prayer. And right after that, it's just like a big community get-together where they'll provide donuts or some kind of, depending again upon culture, some types of cultural food. And then they'll have drinks, and everyone kind of just gets together, and we do this thing where we embrace each other 3 times, and we say Eid Mubarak, which means like congratulations on successfully finishing up this month of fasting. And it's just like a big celebratory day. And then right after that, after prayer, we have a bunch of open houses, and different people sponsor the different open houses where everyone just kind of gets together in the community. You go to different people's houses and you meet your friends. Some people go out to eat, some people go to family, and a lot of people also go to the cemetery to visit their loved ones. And so they basically go put flowers. And then after that, it's just like all day, you just keep eating. There's a lot of eating involved, and there's a lot of specific foods that people eat on Eid, which are like special Eid foods. And then the kids get Eid, which is basically money from, it's kind of like Christmas, but it's Eid without the Christmas tree. And we get money and gifts, and then at night, generally they have a big get-together where it's a pitch-in, and everyone will cook and get together, and we just kind of celebrate all day long.
In the United States, as in other countries where Muslims are a minority, it can be challenging because everyone around you is eating. But for some Muslims in the United States, they feel like they get more blessing from observing the fast because it's even harder. And they're able to tell their friends and their coworkers what they're doing, why they're not eating. And sometimes they get teased for it, but it's almost like a badge of honor.
Every weekend, if you go to mosques across the United States, you'll see hundreds of people that usually aren't there on a regular basis, but will be there. They'll break fast together in a community, bring food together and share it.
I would say that besides, the fact that one is hungry and thirsty, the difficulties are mainly the fact that, you don't feel the spirit as much as you would if you were surrounded by people who are fasting. For example, around Christmas time, there's a beautiful Christmas spirit where, everybody's happy, and you can just feel it, and I can feel it even though I'm not Christian. I feel the Christian spirit, the Christmas spirit during December, during late December. So, it's really a beautiful feeling. And during Ramadan, it's kind of hard because you don't feel that as much, just because you're not, immersed in this culture where everybody's happy, everybody's celebrating, you're getting prepared for a holiday. So that would be one of the difficulties that I would point out. That I wish I could feel the Ramadan spirit in the same way that people feel the Christmas spirit.
So the point of Ramadan for me is basically to make myself a better person overall. So each Ramadan I try to change something about me that I feel like I don't want, like a bad characteristic about me, which I feel like I can make better. And so, for example, last Ramadan it was cussing. This year I didn't cuss at all because it's like a month long, you put yourself into a habit of refraining from a certain bad habit of yours. And so the point of Ramadan for me is just to make me a better person.
So the point of Ramadan for me is actually threefold. First, it's spiritual renewal. I want to be energized about my faith so that for the next whole 11 months, I'm raring to go and practice my faith and be one with God. The second is it's a time for me to make a New Year's resolution. I decided to lose weight this year, lost 60 pounds since. So it's a way in which you can incorporate new religious practices into your life. And then most important thing, it is a time for me to spend with my community in a very spiritual way, in a very intense way over a period of 30 days. So I see my community members every night.
For me personally, Ramadan is a time where I really work on improving myself so that I can inspire myself and others to help better society and become more positive vehicles of change that can help make this whole world a better place.
What's the point of Ramadan? The point is solidarity.
Is spiritual renewal, community engagement, and becoming a better person.
So the point of Ramadan for me is just to make me a better person.